Rugby Wrap-Up brought to you in part by Sheehy Auto Stores. It's easy at Sheehy. The Pig and Whistle, the world's best rugby pub. And Lean and Limber, stretching your way to a healthier lifestyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the more things change, the more they stay the same. John, Gift, and Nate are in the green room, eating craft service and loafing while yours truly is doing the work. And just as an added bonus, we'll make them work a little bit more by giving their Six Nations picks at the very end of this show. But in the meantime, let's look at last weekend's very exciting Major League Rugby action, starting with Old Glory's home opener welcoming in the New England Free Jacks. DC had that Friday Night Lights home opener in chilly District of Columbia weather, but both teams were cooking up points, with the struggling home team keeping it close. But some inopportune handling errors by the hosts were taken on long rides to the Tri-Zone, two courtesy of the gifted Bodine Walker, as the Free Jacks pulled away and go to 2-0 on the road. New England wins 45-21. Next up was Atlanta versus New York. This rematch of the 2021 10-9 Conference Championship slugfest was a seesawing track meet. Atlanta storming back from a 17-0 deficit to take the lead, but Ed Fido, New York's MVP to date, helped the visitors power their way to a victory. New York wins 36-31. Then it was time to go south for one of those Texas derbies, Dallas versus Houston. The Jackals almost shocked the world last week versus San Diego and were leading 33-21 with but 15 minutes left in their first ever home game. But the Houston SaberCats clawed back behind a relentless Danny Barrett at the breakdown, and it was Houston giving the Jackals fans another week of heartbreak. The SaberCats roar back and win 38-33. Staying in Texas, Austin welcomed in the Utah Warriors. The Mountain People find themselves now at 0-3 along with New Orleans and D.C., but they were heroic in defense against a very potent Austin roster. Mark O'Keefe was on fire as Gilgroni fans are drunk with success early on in a sobering match for Utah. Austin wins 24-10. In the neighboring state of Louisiana, NOLA welcomed in Toronto. One of these teams was going to be 0-3 unless they tied. Oh, what a difference a day makes for Toronto, or a Sam Malcolm for that matter. 14 points from the T in his season debut, and the Arrows steal their first ever win versus the NOLA Gold. New Orleans had too much trouble with discipline as yellow cards and penalties cost them in a gut-wrenching loss. Again, they are 0-3. Toronto wins 24-23 and are now 1-2 on the season. Finally, in the only Sunday match, Seattle went down to San Diego to renew their rivalry. San Diego has a legion of injured players after 3 weeks, including the red-hot Ryan Mattias, while the visiting Seawolves are doing swimmingly. Not even the return of the lethal Joe Peterson and a rejuvenated Ma'ananu could stop Seattle's potent attack in this exciting match between staunch rivals. King Seawolf, Ricard Hadding, Ricky as they called him, barreled and busted his way for 2 tries, while Lepetti, Iasefo, Neal, and Futi kept San Diego worried all afternoon. Rucky and Broccoli Guy sent the cohorts home fighting mad in Seattle's thrilling 31-28 win. And on that note, let's take a quick break, then bring in the guys from the green room.
Looking for your next vehicle? With Sheehy's Easy Search, choose from over 3,000 new and used vehicles. Shop, trade, or buy online or in store. We make it easy with our award-winning service.
It's easy at Sheehy. Sheehy.com.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street.
And we're back, and the guys are in from the green room where they have been lazing about, sun tanning, eating little nice dishes of crudité and stuff like that. Once again, Nate trying to do something for a couple of bucks. Nate, what is it this time?
Mate, I'm out of money. So I've been fishing to feed my family today. I've spent the day fishing after doing a little bit of commentary over the weekend, which I really enjoyed.
We heard you Basically, you were doing the Dallas game, Nate.
Yeah, it was a great game.
He stole the facial hair for the money too, huh? That's how deep into it he gets. That's commitment.
Nate needs to coach and Gift needs to host.
I agree.
He's having his day. He's earned it. He was 4-1-1 last week, so I got to take it. I get the wooden spoon from last week. There it is, the wooden spoon. I get it. I was 2-3-1. We all had the tie with the Saber Cats and the
You would be Cleveland
Jackals.
Williams. I would be Muhammad Ali. I'm talking to you while I beat you up.
Blah, 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 blah. Let's get to what we're here to do, okay? We all got stuff that we got to get to. Gift, you got to get a flat tire on your way to Dubai, so you don't get to Dubai. Nate, you got to get back to your baiting.
Back to the poles, mate. And hopefully they're just fishing poles and not stripping poles. I've got to stay off the poles, stay off the stripping poles.
Poles and baiting.
Tempting.
Guys, we have Old Glory hosting Toronto up first, and it's Toronto. After their first win on the road at the gold mine, now they are going into D.C., and they're -8. They're laying 8, John, on the road to your Old Glory team.
Yep, too many points. I think they're going to win the game, but I don't think they're going to cover. I think it's just too many points. Old Glory plays very well at home. I think Toronto is a much better team than I think what I thought at the beginning of the season. Unfortunately, Old Glory is not, and they're going to have a lot of problems, it looks like, all season.
Gift?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't ask an actual question. Yeah, I didn't know. Okay.
Gift, hold on. Gift, what this show is, Gift, is you make picks on the games, and I just gave you the spread, and you picked the game.
You know, also shows transitions. Transitions matter too. I got me that. I didn't know we just threw him out the door. So anyway, look, whenever it comes to this game, I will disagree with JD on one thing. I don't think Toronto is better than what we thought. But I do unfortunately feel like Old Glory is just way not as good as we believe them to be. And I'm looking at this to be a rebuilding year for them. I still need to give them this, but I do think that Toronto is actually going to take this one.
All right, Nate, he's laying 8 with Toronto on the road. I know that you're looking for a coaching job. How are you going to pick this one?
I think Toronto wins pretty easily. DC is just, I don't know how to trust them yet. They played a lot better. But they still lost by, 14 points, and they still leaked another 46 points. So I think that Toronto's going to be too strong and they're going to win pretty comfortably, actually.
I think Old Glory is going to come within the points, and it's got nothing to do with my car from Sheehy Auto Stores, which I drive around in very pleasantly every day. But that's neither here nor there, because we're moving on to the next game, and that one is Dallas hosting New York, and it's New York -18, John, in Dallas, Texas. Ah!
I'm going with the Longhorn State, the Lone Star State of Texas. God bless Texas, and God help New York. 18 points is too much. I think, actually, Dallas has a chance to get this close and perhaps even win this game, by the way. I would put a sprinkle a little money on the money line here. I think 18 points is too much. Dallas has scored a lot of points. They're looking better and better. They got a lot of confidence. Sometimes home teams find ways to do crazy things. I think New York is a much better team, but I think Dallas is going to play well this weekend.
Home teams do crazy things, Gift. That's right down your alley.
Dallas is playing without pressure. And when they play without pressure, they are consistently showing that they can be they are an upset team to be at any point in time. I don't think that they're going to win this game. I do think New York is better, but 18 points, Dallas has shown that they have something to prove. And like I said, I felt like halfway down the season, you're going to start to see that turn around for them. At this point, they're just here to disappoint a lot of people, mess up a lot of spreads. I'm going to give Dallas a point, but New York is going to get the win on this one.
Nate?
I was really impressed with Dallas. They're playing some really good rugby. Like Gift actually said, they're playing without pressure. I think they've come so close the last 2 weeks in heartbreaking last-minute losses that I think they're going to be down this week. I don't think they're going to be able to get up for another one. I think they kind of threw everything at that first home opener against Houston. Big crowd, had the game in the bag and they let it slip away. I think New York wins and, covers. They win easily, actually. We're about 30.
There you have it. And I'm not going to argue with a guy that was a coach in this league for 4 years. Like,
no, you're not going to argue with Steve Lewis.
You two clowns.
Climb up Steve Lewis's hindquarters.
Two Keystone Cops on over here picking games. You two. Well, I'm going with New York, and it's going to be more than 18 points. The next one up, Seattle hosting Austin, and this one with the Gilgronis, Seattle. This is an intriguing matchup between two good teams, two 3-0 teams, 3-0 teams, and the Seattle Seawall at home at Starfire, John, and it's Austin -4.
Look, Seattle's great at home. I think Seattle undefeated against the Austin team is undefeated. I think though that Austin is going to go up there and make this a real point case to show that they're the best team in the league, and I think they are. Even though I think Seattle's going to make this a heck of a game. This is going to be the game of the week.
Gift Siditi, L.A., going into the green broccoli people or the green cauliflower people's house.
There we go. Look, see, I think this was said right. Seattle is a good team. Austin is a great team this season. They decided, hey, perhaps maybe we don't need to be copycat LA and actually act like a town from Texas and actually dominate like you're from Texas. And I think they're going to go up to Seattle and actually continue the domination of both defense and offense on Seattle. Because that being said, Seattle has been good, but I don't think they have the firepower to take on this Austin team. Austin with the points and the win overall.
Nate, we don't know if Lepetti is going to be healthy enough after getting his bell rung pretty good for Seattle last week.
Seattle's one of those teams that we know were good, then they had an off year. They're playing some great rugby. And in Seattle at Starfire, it's almost impossible to beat them. I don't know what it is. It's crowd. It feels a little narrow. They play such great defense there. The crowd gets behind them. I think that Seattle actually wins this one. Austin and New York are still, for me, the two best teams in the league right now. But I think that Seattle's going to beat them.
In your face, Layfield. In your face. And you know what? He's right. And I think Seattle wins this one at home. If Austin wins this one, they will represent the West in the final this season. If they can win this one in Seattle, I think they're going to go and take the division. Next one up, Houston. Or Houston hosting San Diego, John.
Houston, hey, what a surprise year they had. After a bad year last year, great organization. And by the way, Major League Rugby, you want to draw just your regular fans, cater to the hardcore guys because they're going to be there no matter what. You had some great crowds this past week. Highlight a guy like Danny Barrett. People will come out to see this tough guy. Put that video of him breaking his arm in the sevens, getting up off the pitch and going back in and making a tackle. That Danny Barrett is a guy who would draw the casual fan into the rugby game. I would put him on every single video in the scoreboard in that stadium, on every commercial. Make stars out of these guys because he is a star. And I'm going to go with Houston and Danny Barrett here.
It's hard to argue with that. Gift, what is your pick? San Diego -3 against Houston at home.
San Diego has yet to actually impress me at any point during this season. I think we've seen it time and time again. Outside of that Utah game that they almost threw away again, Houston is at home and actually playing like a team that has one of the best stadiums in MLR. So I'm giving this Houston coming back strong. Another win back-to-back weeks. Give this to Houston. San Diego's just they're not ready for that next level yet.
Oh, wow. All right, Nate, San Diego's battling those injuries, that injury bug. It bit again with Ryan Mattias, who's having an electric season so far. He gets hurt dishing off of try-scoring pass, ironically, and he might be out. You already had Rob Shaw and Dan Pryor out. Maybe they come back. We don't know. It's all about the injury list.
Houston's I can't put my finger on what they are. You know, they're a good team. They're a solid team, but they also were a team that struggled a lot against Dallas for a lot of that game before they really turned it on. I will say Danny Barrett was outstanding in that game. Danny Barrett was unreal, and I agree with what John said. I am going San Diego. San Diego win. A close one.
Yeah, this is a tough one, and Danny Barrett is the kind of guy that can change things around. I mean, everybody says, he's a sevens player, and the staff was saying he's got to make the transition, the adjustments, and he obviously has because he was at the breakdown and poaching the ball and doing all those little things that don't show up in the box score a lot, and he's all over the pitch. They're at home. San Diego's banged up. I'm going to go with San Diego on the road.
Yeah, I think that's the same as what you just said about Boston in the West. If San Diego can go down there and win, I think that they're a big chance of being a playoff team in the West this year. If they don't, I think they're going to start to spiral again.
But just the fact that we're not comfortable with picking against Houston means that Houston has actually turned things around, and they are a team to be reckoned with. Sure. And if they win this one, that's going to just throw the whole Western Conference upside down.
That's great for the league. Houston has a great ownership down there. They built this stadium. You want them to be successful. Not at the expense of other teams, but you want them to be successful because that's really good for the league.
What's this? This is the last week of February, 2022. John Layfield said something that made sense. Unbelievable. Write it down, ladies and gentlemen.
Ring the Guinnesses.
Write it down.
Yeah. Hey, I love Stephen Lewis. Where's his butt?
That is just not nice. Los Angeles, the Giltinis, off a bye week, welcoming in the tea drinkers from Boston Harbor. John, -8.
The tea sippers, they got that long intercontinental flight, and they're going to be sipping tea the whole time. That just doesn't work. New Jack is going to go into the Coliseum, and they're going to be the Lions to the Gladiators because them boys have finally realized they are a very good team, and they're going to roll. They're going to roll all over them boys.
Gift. It's a long flight, but you said last year, and I know last year, this is a different year as per last show, you told us that, but you did say the teams get all the rest on flights.
Well, I always said whenever you time travel, but you know what? Hey, look, like I said, it's a whole new year, all right? Physics changed, the Earth rotational movement changed over. You have a different gravity effect on the body. So it just changes how you get things done. But, hey, look, when it comes with these Free Jacks, they've been playing great up until this point. But I think LA might have finally gotten done with all their celebration and actually feeling like they did something. And have now probably gotten the bonding that they needed to be able to go do what they're supposed to do. I look at LA to be able to take this game, come back strong because, hey, they've been embarrassing the last couple of weeks by their standards.
Nate, what's your take on this one?
Who are the Free Jacks? They look like they're playing good rugby, but they've beaten the two bottom teams in the league right now that are 0-3. They beat the Gold and they beat DC.
Collectively 0-6. Collectively 0-6.
Collectively 0-6. So are they that good or have we seen it yet? This is going to be a test for them. I don't think they've got the firepower from what I've seen to beat LA. I do think they're going to be a playoff contender, but I think that this is a big test, and this will kind of show us a bit more about who New England actually is this year. And LA, they just need to get back to playing some rugby. I think they got shocked in that first week, and then that first 40 minutes against Toronto, they looked horrible as well. Hopefully. And I think knowing Steve Hoyle as well, that he'll have him gut firing for this one, especially at
What's
home.
that little Aussie pipeline telling you that it hasn't worked out yet so far? With the
I'll get on the call to the Queanbeyan connection, mate. I'll get all the Queanbeyan boys on a call, and I'll see what happens.
So you're picking LA?
Picking LA.
New England's got the benefit of nobody really expecting anything out of them, and they're kind of flying under the radar because you got New York and Atlanta in that conference, and all they've done so far is win 2 games on the road, which is never easy in this league. And now they got another road game though against another team that they played closely last year, but they had 4 yellow cards in the match, and they just shot themselves in the foot over and over again. And that was a very strong LA team that had the full training camp and everybody was healthy. It's a lot of points. But I think LA.
You have a pick.
LA by 10.
Thank you.
LA by 10. Now, before we end, we have a special treat. But right after this commercial break, we'll be right back with our quick flash Six Nations picks.
Been blind since I was 4. And I've never seen a beer commercial or a beer label. None of that stuff influences me. I drink beer because of the taste. And my beer is Pabst Blue Ribbon. It has the taste and the flavor.
What do you think's on the label?
I think there's a naked woman riding on a unicorn, jumping over fire. Oh, that's good beer.
And we are back with Nate Osborne, Gift Egbelu, and John Bradshaw Layfield. Guys, a special bonus for our fans. We're going to give you guys our Six Nations picks. I'm going to rattle off all three of the choices, and each one of you will rapid fire give me your three choices. John, you're going to go first. The games are France -6 in Scotland, 9:15 Saturday morning Eastern Time. Then we've got England -13 hosting Wales, and that one is 11:45 a.m. Saturday morning. Then Ireland -40.5 versus Italy in Dublin, and that is at 10 a.m. on Sunday. John, who are your picks?
Who let the dogs out? That's all you got to know. I'm picking all the dogs, every one of them. Scotland at home getting the 6 points, and they may win it straight up. Wales goes into Twickenham. They're going to lose the game, I believe, but cover. The 13 points, they're going to cover within that spread. And finally, Italy going into Ireland. 40.5 is way too many points. Ireland's going to kill them, but not by 40.5. I'm going Italy.
The dogs have it, Gift. Gift, that means you pick these games.
Yo, look, I got to give people their credit where they're due. France by 6, I look at them to be able to show the overtalents and just overpower that Scotland team. Look at Wales covering the points just like JBL. I think they're going to keep it close because you can't let these rivalries beat you out like that. But England will probably get the win. And then I actually look at Ireland by 40. I actually think they're probably going to win by 50. I just don't think Italy has any more juice left inside them. This is basically, once they heard South Africa's going to be there, I don't think they care anymore.
All right, Nate, look, now the guys that actually know what they're talking about are going to go. You go first.
France, England, Ireland.
All right. He's going with all the favorites, John. You want to take something back? No, you can't take it back. It's already set in stone.
I'm not taking it back. I'm going with all the dogs. I think he's probably right on who wins the game. I think the dogs have enough to cover.
Yeah,
a bit of a contrarian bet.
I'm ABE, anybody but England, so I got to go with Wales. I think that England will probably cover, but I'm picking Wales anyway. Ireland, I think, is going to probably rest some players, perhaps. They manage their players very well, does the IRFU. I think it'll be less than 40, the victory. And I think that Scotland is going to ultimately be disappointed by France by like 8 points. So I'm going with France. On that note, I want to thank Mr. John Bradshaw Layfield, Mr. Gift Egbelu, Mr. Nate Osborne, and thank you for tuning in. Please check out our other segments, including the College Rugby Wrap-Up and our Major League Rugby Preview Show. Please sign up for our newsletter, and please, please, please sign up for our blood donor team with the American Red Cross.